You know, when you think of Yellowstone National Park, you probably picture geysers, incredible wildlife, just this stunning landscape, right? But deep down, way beneath the surface, there's a restless giant, one of the world's biggest supervolcanoes. And lately, that giant has been stirring and making some pretty scary headlines.
I'm sure you've seen them, those clickbait headlines all over social media asking this terrifying question. Is the Yellowstone supervolcano about to blow up? And look, it's a fear that's being fueled by more than just speculation. There have been some genuinely strange and really powerful things happening inside the park.
I mean, think about this for a second. We've got powerful steam explosions, a massive patch of ground swelling up like a balloon, and data showing magma is shifting around deep underground. So, what is really going on? Are these the warning signs of a coming disaster, or is this just normal for an active volcano?
To get to the bottom of this, we've got to separate the fact from the fear. So let's start by digging into the specific events that have been causing all this concern in the first place.
The Yellowstone Volcano Observatory actually called 2024 the year of the hydrothermal explosion, and for good reason. As you can see here, we had two pretty big ones. The first, back in April, was so powerful it was the first ever to be picked up by seismic instruments. It left a 10-foot crater. And then, in July, another one just violently blew up, throwing huge rocks hundreds of feet and totally wrecking a park boardwalk. So yeah, these are not your minor little steam vents.
And it's not just the explosions. The ground itself is on the move. Since July of 2025, a patch of land, about the size of the entire city of Chicago, has been swelling upwards, rising about an inch. Scientists say it's like a giant balloon is being slowly inflated 9 miles below the surface. So what on earth could be causing that?
Well, to answer that, we have to look underground. For years, our view of Yellowstone's plumbing system has been, well, kind of blurry. But some recent breakthroughs in technology are finally giving us a picture of that magma system that's clearer than we've ever had before.
So the old way of doing this, seismic tomography, was kind of like a fuzzy ultrasound. It used waves from earthquakes to sort of guess where magma might be. But this new method, called magnetotellurics, that's like getting a high-resolution photograph. It lets us see the rock itself with incredible sharpness.
Here's how it works, and it's pretty brilliant. Molten rock, magma, is a fantastic conductor of electricity, way better than solid rock. So, by measuring the Earth's natural electric and magnetic fields, scientists can see exactly where those pockets of liquid magma are. They literally just light up in the data.
So after years of really painstaking work, setting up over 100 different measurement stations all across the park, what did this powerful new tool actually show us? Well, the answer completely changes how we should think about the threat from Yellowstone.
First things first, that image you might have in your head of a giant, sloshing lake of lava just waiting to erupt, yeah, that's completely wrong. The reality is actually way less dramatic.
Turns out, the magma reservoir isn't a lake of lava at all. It's more like a crystal mush, or maybe a better way to think of it is a rock sponge. As you can see here, the vast majority of it is actually solid, though very hot rock. The liquid magma, the melt, only makes up a tiny little fraction of it, basically filling the little empty spaces inside that solid crystal structure.
And here it is. This is probably the most important takeaway from all of this. For a supervolcano to even have the potential to erupt, its magma has to be at least 40% liquid. And Yellowstone? It's not even close to that number. There just isn't enough fuel in the tank for a super eruption.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is a quote from Mike Pollan. He's the scientist in charge at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, and he put it pretty plainly. He said, "This new data just reinforces what they already thought. A major eruption just isn't something that's on the horizon." Okay, so if the volcano isn't about to blow its top, then how do we explain all those alarming events we started with? You know, the explosions, the swelling ground. Let's take another look at them, but this time through this new scientific lens. So the key distinction here is that those explosions were hydrothermal, not volcanic. This happens when water that's trapped underground gets superheated and just flashes into steam. Think of it like a geyser on steroids. The key is that it's driven by water near the surface, not by magma from deep down trying to get out.
And what about that Chicago-sized bulge? Well, when you look at the historical data, you see this isn't anything new. The ground in Yellowstone basically breathes. That very same area on the North Rim swelled up between 1996 and 2004. Then another spot rose up really fast back in 2013. The uplift we're seeing now is just the latest chapter in this ongoing cycle of inhale and exhale. It really all just comes down to this simple phrase from Mike Poland again. All this activity, it's just Yellowstone being Yellowstone. It's a living, breathing, dynamic system. The ground moves, steam explodes, geysers go off. These are actually the signs of a healthy, living volcano, not one that's on the verge of disaster.
Now hold on. Saying a super eruption isn't coming anytime soon doesn't mean Yellowstone is perfectly safe. The problem is, all the focus on the big one often makes us forget about the real dangers that exist on a human timescale.
So what are the threats we should actually be thinking about? Well, large earthquakes are a very real possibility in this active region. Those hydrothermal explosions we talked about, they're also a serious and unpredictable local hazard. And if Yellowstone were to erupt again, history tells us it would almost certainly be a much smaller lava flow, not some kind of global catastrophe.
And here's the bottom line from the officials who monitor this volcano 24/7. Despite everything going on, the U.S. Geological Survey's official alert level for Yellowstone is still at normal. That's the lowest setting it has. Scientists are watching everything very, very closely, but they are not alarmed.
So let's just put all the pieces together here. The headlines were definitely alarming, and they were based on real events. But the newest science shows us that the magma chamber is mostly solid rock, and it's in no condition to cause a supereruption. All that activity we're seeing at the surface, that's just the volcano breathing, doing its thing. The real hazards we should be aware of aren't the big one, but more localized things like large earthquakes and steam explosions.
When you really look at it, the story of Yellowstone isn't one of impending doom, but of incredible scientific discovery. Our ability to see deep beneath the surface and to understand this unbelievably complex place is getting better every single year. And it just makes you wonder, as our instruments get more sensitive and our understanding gets deeper, what other secrets is this restless giant just waiting to tell us?